name is Daniel and I'm from McCauley Boys and Girls Club. I have the lovely Emma as my camera lady today. Say hi, Emma.
Hi, Emma.
Perfect. So for today, I'm going to show you how to do a magic trick. So this magic trick hopefully will allow you guys to wow your mom, wow your dad, wow your brothers, wow your sisters, and hopefully wow your friends in the future, okay? So what we need in order to do this magic trick is we need either a deck of cards. If you do not have a deck of cards at home, that's okay. We can make our own deck of cards. So what you can do, what you need for that is paper or markers and crayons. So here's an example of some of the cards that I've made. If you don't have a deck of cards, you can make cool little cards like this. You can put a number and you can make your own little symbol. I made a house, a star, a little diamond, a circle. You can make any cards you want at home, okay? The last thing you're gonna need is some charisma. If you don't know what charisma means, that's like showmanship. That's some energy, okay? So right now, I'm gonna do the magic trick, and then after we do the magic trick, I'm gonna show you how we do it, okay? So in order to start this magic trick, I'm going to use my deck of cards, okay? So we're gonna start by doing 4 rows of 4 cards. Let's get rid of that one. That one too, geez, what are the odds of that? Okay, so what we're gonna do, Emma is going to point to a card. She's gonna make sure that everybody viewing knows what the card is. And then we're gonna do some magic. Are you ready, Emma?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna look at what card Emma points to, okay? I promise you this. Okay. All right.
Which one should we do? This one? This one?
Okie dokie. So now all you have to tell me, Emma, and the people viewing, what row is your card in? Is it in row 1, 2, 3, or 4?
It's in row 2.
It is in row 2. So this row right here?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Here's where your charisma or your showmanship is. At home, you can get whoever you're doing this magic trick to either do a magic tap on the thing, they can blow on it, okay? Use your imagination, do something cool, okay? So, right now I'm gonna do the magic touch, ready? Okay, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know you see your card somewhere in here. Emma, can you tell me what row your card is in now? Is it in row 1, 2, 3, or 4?
It's in row 2.
It's in row 2. Again, wow, how about that? Okay, here we go. Okay, once again, here's where your charisma comes in. Get your mom, your dad, your grandpa, your grandma, your auntie, your uncle, your brother, your sister to touch the deck of cards. Do a magic tap, do a blow. You can shake it, okay? But here's where the real magic happens. Okay, Emma, what I need from you is I need you to point to 2 piles of cards on this table, please.
Okay. This one and that one.
Okay, Emma, I want you to point to 1 pile now, please.
That one.
Okay, Emma, I want you to point to 2 cards in that pile, please.
Okay. This one and that one.
Okay, Emma, I want you to point to 1 card in that pile, please.
This one.
Okay, so here's where you can get creative as well. You say, Emma, what was your card? Do you remember what your card was?
3 of spades.
So, this is what I usually do in the Boys and Girls Club. I say, okay, if I get this card right, you have to do 5 push-ups. Or you have to scream, Daniel's the best magician in the world.
Okay.
You said 3 of spades?
Yeah.
Okay, check this out.
What?
Bonkers, right? This is where I can hear you guys screaming at home, Daniel's the best magician in the world. Okay, so here, I'm gonna show you how to do it now. Okay, so what you need, it's really, really easy, but it's so, so good. Okay, so you need your deck of cards, or if you don't have your deck of cards, you need your pieces of paper with your numbers and your symbols on them. I'm gonna use my deck of cards. So what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna start this, is I'm gonna put 4 cards down. And in every column, I'm gonna put 4 cards, okay? Okay, so I have 4 columns of 4 cards. So let's say this is where you get your mom, your dad, your grandpa, your grandma, your auntie, your uncle, your brother, your sister to point to a card. Let's say, for example, we're gonna point to the ace of diamonds, okay? So everybody knows that the ace of diamonds is the card, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask the audience, ask the people who are you're doing this magic trick to, what row your card is in. So if it's in row 1, 2, 3, or 4. Obviously right now we all know that our card, the ace of diamonds, is in row 3. Here's the trick. You have to pick up whatever row that card is in, you have to pick up that row first. So we know that the card is in row 3. I'm going to slide row 3 into my hand. So I already know that your card is somewhere in there, okay? And I'm just gonna put all the other cards on top of that. Okay? Once again, I know that your card is one of the first top 4 cards on my pile. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start a row with these 4 cards. So even if I didn't know that this was my card, I already know that your card that you guys picked is one of these 4 cards, okay? And I'm just gonna put the rest of the card in the rows. So now you would ask your audience, okay, what row is your card in now? Obviously, of course, it's in row 3. So the audience will say, Daniel, it's in row 3. Immediately, I already know what your card is because I know that it's this. It's going to be the top one of these top cards. And when they say, yeah, it's in row 3, I know that that's your card. Okay? So when they say again, it's in row 3, Daniel, I'm going to take row 3 and I'm going to put it in my hand. I know that that top card is the card that you picked, okay? And I'm always gonna keep that card right on my palm, okay? You can pick up all the other rows, be sure to put them on top of those cards that you already have, right? This is where you practice your charisma. I'm gonna get my mom to tap the cards. I'm gonna shake it really hard. I'm gonna visualize your card, okay? Remember that your card, I already know your card is the first card in my pile. So when I make my groups of 4 cards, I always I put that card face down right in front of me, okay? And then I make a little T. And I'm gonna make 4 piles of 4 cards. Okay, so now I know that this is your card, and by all means necessary, I'm going to keep this pile of cards in front of me. So when I get Emma, or your mom, your dad, whomever you're doing this magic trick to, I get them to point to a pile. So let's run some examples. If I say, okay, point to 2 piles. Let's say your audience goes, this pile and this pile. If you do that, you're gonna take those away because your goal is to leave this pile and ultimately this card on the table at all times. Now, you're saying, Daniel, what happens if my audience points to this pile? So for example, I say, okay, point to 2 piles. If they say this pile and this pile, what do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take that pile away, okay? It's a slight little trick and it messes with people's minds a little bit. You're the magician, you're the one making this trick, okay? So we'll do it one more time. Let's say they point to these 2 piles. What are you gonna do? You're gonna take those 2 away. If they point to these 2 piles, which 2 piles of cards are you gonna take away? You're gonna take away those ones because you want to leave these cards on the table. So let's try it. Emma, can you point to 2 piles of cards on this table, please?
This one and that one.
Perfect. So Emma pointed to these 2 piles. Obviously, we know that your card is right here. I want to keep that card on the table. I'm going to take away these 2 piles. And the same goes on and on and on. This is why it's really important to remember where you put your card. Okay, that top card in your pile. And I know I put it right in front of me, so I'm always going to keep that pile. So now, Emma, I want you to point to 1 pile of cards on this table.
That one.
Okay, so Emma pointed to the pile of cards where we know our cards are. I want to keep that on the table, so I'm going to take away this pile. The same goes for the cards in the pile. So Emma, I want you to point to 2 cards in that pile.
These 2.
Perfect. So I'm going to take those away because I know that those are not your cards. So now you can say, okay, Emma, point to 1 card.
This one.
Perfect. I already know that's not her card, so I'm going to take it away. Once again, this is where you can say, okay, if I get this card right, you have to scream, Daniel's the best, or your name is the best. No, scream Daniel's the best. I would like to hear this. Okay, so we flip it over. We all know that our card was the Ace of Diamonds, right? So this is a really, really simple magic trick that's gonna blow the minds of your mom, your dad, whomever you're doing this to. It takes some practice, but with practice, you're gonna have a new trick in your pocket that you can wow your friends, your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, your auntie, your uncle. Okay, so stay tuned for next time. I'm gonna show you another magic trick. Okay.